The studio lights dim slightly as the audience settles in, buzzing with anticipation for the day's episode of The View. Whoopi Goldberg opens with her signature warm smile, welcoming everyone back from commercial break, and introduces the guest star, Tom Hardy, promoting his latest film. The panelists clap enthusiastically, Joy Behar leaning forward with that mischievous glint in her eye, ready to dive into the conversation. Tom strides onto the set, dressed in a sharp black suit, his rugged charm instantly captivating the crowd. He shakes hands with each host, saving a polite nod for Joy, who wastes no time launching into her first question about his intense method acting techniques. Tom responds thoughtfully, describing how he immerses himself in roles, drawing from personal experiences to bring authenticity to characters like Venom or Mad Max. The discussion flows smoothly at first, with Sunny Hostin chiming in about the psychological toll of such deep dives, and Sarah Haynes asking about balancing family life with Hollywood demands. But then Joy steers the talk toward politics, probing Tom's views on current events, specifically the ongoing debates around celebrity influence in social issues. Tom hesitates, explaining he's more focused on his craft than public activism, but Joy presses on, accusing him of dodging responsibility as a public figure. The tension builds subtly, the audience murmuring as Tom's jaw tightens, his British accent sharpening with each word. He counters that art should provoke thought without forcing agendas, but Joy interrupts, her voice rising, calling his stance privileged and out of touch. Whoopi tries to mediate, suggesting they move to lighter topics, but the spark has ignited. Tom leans back, crossing his arms, his eyes narrowing as he retorts that Joy's constant need to politicize everything is exhausting and divisive. The exchange heats up, Joy defending her right to challenge guests, while Tom accuses the show of ambushing celebrities for ratings. Alyssa Farah Griffin jumps in to support Joy, but Tom waves her off, his voice booming now, echoing through the studio. The audience gasps as he stands up abruptly, pointing a finger at Joy, declaring that this kind of gotcha journalism is why people distrust media. Joy fires back, her New York accent thick with indignation, telling him to sit down and act like an adult. The back and forth escalates, words flying like daggers, Tom calling Joy a bully hiding behind a desk, Joy retorting that he's just another fragile ego in a tough guy's body. Security hovers at the edges, but the producers let it roll, sensing viral gold. Whoopi calls for a break, but Tom storms off set mid-sentence, muttering expletives under his breath, leaving the panel stunned and the audience in uproar. As the camera cuts to commercial, the chaos lingers, whispers of what just happened spreading like wildfire. Back from the break, the tension in the air is palpable, thicker than a London fog, as Whoopi attempts to regain control, apologizing to the viewers for the unexpected turn while glancing nervously at the empty chair where Tom was seated. Joy, unflappable as ever, adjusts her glasses and launches into a defense of her questioning style, insisting that tough conversations are what The View is all about, and that celebrities like Tom need to be held accountable for their platforms. The audience is divided, some clapping in support of Joy's boldness, others booing softly, feeling the interview crossed a line into confrontation. Sarah tries to lighten the mood with a joke about British tempers, but it falls flat, the room still reeling from Tom's explosive exit. Meanwhile, backstage, Tom paces furiously in the green room, his agent on the phone trying to calm him down, but his frustration boils over. He slams a fist on the table, ranting about how he came to promote a movie, not get grilled on politics he never claimed expertise in. Flashbacks in the script show clips of past View episodes where similar sparks flew, building the narrative that this was inevitable. The producers huddle, debating whether to bring Tom back or let the segment die, but the decision is made to address it live. Whoopi announces they're cutting to a pre-recorded segment, but Joy interjects, demanding they discuss what happened openly. The conversation pivots to broader themes of celebrity accountability versus media ethics, with Alyssa arguing that guests deserve respect, while Sunny points out the double standards in how male and female hosts are perceived. The debate rages on, voices overlapping in a cacophony of opinions, the audience hanging on every word. Suddenly, a producer whispers in Whoopi's ear, and she reveals Tom has agreed to return, but only if Joy apologizes first. Joy scoffs, crossing her arms defiantly, declaring she stands by her words and won't back down. The standoff draws cheers and jeers. The energy electric. Tom re-enters the set to thunderous applause mixed with tension, his face a mask of controlled anger as he takes his seat again, staring daggers at Joy. He speaks first, his voice low and intense, explaining that he felt ambushed and disrespected, that his personal life and views are off-limits unless he brings them up. Joy counters that as a public figure, everything is fair game, especially when promoting work that touches on societal issues. The argument reignites, Tom accusing Joy of being a provocateur for clicks, Joy calling him thin-skinned and entitled. Whoopi mediates more forcefully now, steering toward common ground, but the verbal sparring continues, each point met with a sharper rebuttal. The clock ticks down, the segment extending beyond its slot, captivating viewers at home who are already tweeting about the meltdown. As the heated exchange drags on, Tom delves deeper into his grievances, recounting how media outlets twist words for headlines, using his past interviews as examples where quotes were taken out of context to paint him as controversial. Joy listens with a smirk, then unleashes a barrage of counterpoints, citing instances where celebrities like him have used their fame to sway public opinion without backlash. The panel fractures further, with Sarah siding somewhat with Tom, suggesting the show should focus more on entertainment, while Alyssa defends the journalistic integrity of probing questions. The audience participates now, shouting encouragements or disagreements, turning the studio into a gladiatorial arena. Tom rises again, his muscular frame towering as he gestures emphatically, his accent thickening with emotion, declaring that Joy represents everything wrong with daytime sensationalism over substance. Joy stands too, matching his intensity, her finger wagging as she calls him out for hypocrisy, pointing out his roles in violent films that glorify aggression while he preaches peace in interviews. The verbal volley intensifies, words like bully, fraud, and opportunist hurled across the table, shocking even the seasoned hosts. Whoopi bangs her hand on the desk, demanding order, but the damage is done. The argument has exploded into full-blown chaos. Behind the scenes, social media erupts. Hashtags like #TomHardyMeltdown and #JoyBehar clash trending worldwide, clips circulating of the most explosive moments. Producers scramble, extending the commercial break to regroup, but the live feed captures every raw emotion. Upon return, Tom attempts to steer back to his film, describing the plot and his character's arc, but Joy interrupts again, linking it to real-world violence, accusing Hollywood of desensitizing audiences. Tom snaps, his voice thundering, "Enough, you're not interested in dialogue, you just want a fight." The audience gasps collectively as he removes his mic, tossing it on the table with a clatter, and storms off for good this time, the door slamming echoing through the set. Joy sits back, a mix of triumph and shock on her face, as the other hosts exchange wide-eyed glances. Whoopi wraps up hastily, promising more after the break, but the incident lingers, the studio buzzing with aftershocks. Viewers at home are glued to their screens, dissecting every moment, while pundits begin analyzing the fallout on other networks. The script builds suspense here, hinting at potential repercussions like boycotts or apologies, keeping the narrative gripping. In the aftermath of Tom's dramatic exit, the panel reconvenes without him, the conversation shifting to a post-mortem of the clash. Joy, ever the firebrand, doubles down on her approach, arguing that if guests can't handle tough questions, they shouldn't come on the show. Sonny offers a balanced view, suggesting both sides escalated unnecessarily, while Sarah expresses sympathy for Tom, noting the pressure of live TV. Alyssa chimes in about the importance of civility in discourse, but Joy waves it off, calling it a necessary confrontation in today's polarized world. The audience remains engaged, some standing to applaud Joy's tenacity, others shaking their heads in disapproval. Clips replay on the screen behind them, highlighting key moments of the argument, from Tom's initial composure cracking to Joy's unyielding retorts. Whoopi tries to pivot to the next segment, but the energy pulls them back, discussing broader implications for celebrity interviews and media responsibility. Meanwhile, Tom's team issues a statement via social media, decrying the ambush and vowing never to return to The View. sparking a wave of support from fans who flood the show's accounts with criticism. Joy responds live, reading some tweets and dismissing them as overreactions from fragile egos. The debate evolves into a meta-discussion on free speech versus respect, with each host sharing personal anecdotes of past heated moments. As the show progresses, guest experts are brought in, virtually a psychologist analyzing body language, a media critic weighing in on ethics, adding layers to the narrative. The script weaves in fictional viewer reactions, showing split-screen comments praising Joy's boldness or condemning her aggression. Tension simmers as rumors swirl of legal action or public apologies, keeping the audience hooked. By the episode's end, Whoopi signs off with a reflective note on passionate discussions, but the explosion has left an indelible mark. Post-show, interviews with audience members reveal mixed feelings, some thrilled by the drama, others disappointed in the lack of resolution. Tom's camp leaks details of his side, painting Joy as the instigator, while her supporters rally online, turning the incident into a cultural flashpoint. The video script captures this ongoing ripple effect, extending the story beyond the studio walls into the digital realm where opinions clash anew. Days after the explosive episode, the fallout continues to dominate headlines, with entertainment news outlets dissecting every angle of the Tom Hardy-Joy Behar confrontation. Tom appears on a late-night show to share his perspective, calmly recounting how he felt cornered and disrespected, emphasizing his desire for genuine conversations over interrogations. Joy, in turn, addresses it on subsequent episodes of The View, standing firm and using it as a teachable moment about holding power accountable. The panel reflects on the incident, with Whoopi admitting it got out of hand but defending the show's format as a platform for real talk. Social media battles rage, celebrities weighing in, some siding with Tom, calling for boycotts, others praising Joy for her fearlessness. Memes proliferate, turning heated quotes into viral sensations, boosting the show's ratings to record highs. Behind the scenes, producers celebrate the buzz, planning follow-up segments to capitalize on the drama. Tom promotes his film elsewhere, avoiding political questions, while Joy becomes a symbol of unapologetic journalism. The script explores hypothetical reconciliations, imagining a future episode where they reunite, tensions thawing over shared laughs. But for now, the divide persists, fueling debates on celebrity fragility versus media aggression. Analysts predict long-term effects, like changes in guest booking policies or increased scrutiny on live shows. Viewers replay the clip obsessively, analyzing micro-expressions and tone shifts. The narrative builds to a climax of public opinion polls showing a split audience, mirroring societal divisions. As time passes, the story fades but leaves a legacy, referenced in pop culture as the View eruption. Tom moves on to awards season buzz, his performance lauded, while Joy's book sales spike from the notoriety. The video script ties it all together, portraying the event as a microcosm of larger cultural clashes, where egos collide and truths emerge in the heat of the moment. Reflecting on the enduring impact of the Tom Hardy eruption on The View, the incident serves as a case study in media dynamics, inspiring think pieces and podcasts dissecting the fine line between entertainment and confrontation. Tom, in interviews months later, expresses no regrets but a lesson learned in choosing platforms wisely, focusing his energy on philanthropic efforts away from the spotlight. Joy, ever resilient, incorporates the story into her stand-up routines, turning the drama into comedy gold and reinforcing her brand as the no-nonsense host. The View adapts, implementing subtle changes like pre-interview agreements on topics, ensuring future episodes balance edge with empathy. Audience loyalty surges, drawn to the authenticity of unscripted moments, while critics debate if such explosions erode or enhance public discourse. Social media archives the event eternally, clips resurfacing in compilations of TV meltdowns. Hypothetical sequels imagine Tom returning triumphantly, the argument resolved in mutual respect, but reality keeps them apart, their paths diverging in Hollywood's vast landscape. The script concludes with a montage of reactions from fans worldwide, from outrage to admiration, underscoring how one heated argument can spark global conversations. Ultimately, the explosion humanizes both figures: Tom as the intense artist, Joy as the fierce interrogatora, reminding viewers that behind the glamour, raw emotions drive us all. As the credits metaphorically roll, the legacy endures, a testament to the power of live television in capturing unfiltered humanity.